Miami beat third-ranked Virginia last night and sure looks to be one of the top teams in the country. We're pleased to welcome in the coach of the Hurricanes, our old friend Jim Larrañaga. Let me start with this. You said when you're a top 15 team, you should expect to win no matter who you play. Where do you need to get better to win it all? Because you're a top 15 team.
Well, we have to improve in our rebounding, Tony. That's been a real sore spot for us. We got crushed on the boards at Carolina and at NC State. And we got beat on the boards last night by Virginia. We have to improve that area if we want to compete with the best teams in the country during the NCAA tournament.
Jim, it seems like every coach is taking stock of his team that way and finding something that he wants to do better, because there's no clear-cut favorite out there. But as you travel and as you watch, is there somebody that stands out to you right now?
Well, the way Carolina played against us, if they play like that consistently for the remainder of this season, I don't think anybody can stop them. But they've got tough road games ahead. They've got to go to NC State tomorrow, and they have to go to Virginia on Saturday. So in league play, the ACC is so strong, anybody can knock you off, especially on the road. And I think there's so many teams like Oklahoma and Kansas and Michigan State, Iowa. There's just so many good teams, maybe not a dominant team.
You are probably aware of this statistic, but I'm not sure everyone in America is. You are 4-2 versus Duke since you got to Miami. How is it that you are succeeding against Mike Krzyzewski while so many others have failed?
Well, I think I knew that, Tony. That's not a stat that surprises me. We kind of keep track of those things for recruiting purposes. But I think one of the things is our offensive style, I think, has been good against them. And we've had very good players. I mean, when we beat them, we had Shane Larkin at the point, our first year, a terrific player who's in the NBA now. The next year, we had a senior-dominated team. And the thing that you have to give Coach K tremendous credit for, he won the national championship by bringing along terrific freshmen, but they were still freshmen. And this year, they're very, very young, and we've got a veteran team. So I think that's why we've enjoyed the success. We've had experience in our favor.
Jim, when you left Greater Washington, D.C. for Miami a few years ago, some were skeptical as to whether Miami could ever win in basketball big. And there was one particular dope, I'm not going to mention his name, who said you were getting closer to retirement because nobody can win at Miami.
I thought you were taking the golden parachute. You were going to get all the money, and that's the last we would ever have heard of you, and I think clearly I was wrong.
But you knew something that everybody, particularly Tony, did not, Jim. What was it?
Well, right now, guys, I'm looking for an extension. I've got a contract up until I'm 72, and I'd like to go forever. I love coaching. I love doing what I'm doing. I love being at the University of Miami. This is a great school. The thing I'm really most proud of, when we first arrived, my staff and I, everybody said we couldn't draw crowds. Now we are sold out for every game, and if the fans were tuned in last night to the ESPN, they saw a great home court advantage. Our fans are cheering wildly for our Hurricanes team.
We'll get you out of here on this, Jim, and everybody sees how good the program is at Miami now and how they compete, obviously, on the national title level. But it's been 10 years since you took George Mason to the Final Four, and that had never been done before, and nobody expected that. How do you look back on that experience now?
Well, that was a once-in-a-lifetime experience to do it at the mid-major level. But once we did it, it was like the 4-minute mile barrier had been broken, and other teams, other mid-majors felt like they could do it. And you ended up with Butler doing it back-to-back. VCU did it. Wichita State has done it. So I think we set the stage with our belief that we could do it. And that wasn't something we believed in March. That was something we believed in October, when we brought in Dr. Bob Rotella, the great sports psychologist, who met with the team and asked them to dream a big dream of how the season would go. And our players said, we think we can make it to the Final Four. So we had great confidence in ourselves going into that season.
Well, I would say that you and your players were the only ones in October who would have believed that.
They got it done.
And it's amazingly successful.
I know you didn't, Tony.
I did not.
You didn't even think we belonged in the tournament.
I'm glad you're pointing that out. This is great.
I've been wrong with you so often, and I go back with you 35 years, and I know that. Thank you, as always, Jim, for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, all right, guys.